I'm sober and no one knows. I just need to tell someone and get this off my chest. I started using cocaine, meth, opiates and Molly on the regular years ago. And I recently got clean and have been hiding it from my family. A few of them confronted me while I was using, but I would lie and say that I was just tired or had too much caffeine or was overstimulated due to my autism. It's absolutely killing me inside hiding this from everyone I love and know. My father was a junkie growing up and I swore to myself to never be caught anything like him, and I became just like him. I went to my first party after getting clean this weekend and had severe social anxiety. I'm used to hanging out at quote-unquote trap houses. Just places I really shouldn't have been. I've done a lot of things that I'm ashamed of. I have caused a lot of people pain and sorrow. I don't know how to tell my mother that I became a junkie just like my father. Something she worked so hard in her life for me not to become. I know. I need to tell her and everyone else in my life. But I feel like I'm letting everyone down by admitting that I'm a junkie. I feel like I don't know what I feel like anymore. I remember why I started using drugs to begin with. My mind never stops racing. I can't sleep due to nightmares. My body hurts everywhere. I'm glad I'm clean, but at the same time I wish I wasn't. Last night my wife said, "All this time I thought you were depressed, but you really did just hate your job," and I can't believe how right she was. I worked as a data scientist for over 10 years, making roughly $150,000 a year. I never really got any enjoyment out of it, but I just figured it was paying the bills and I wouldn't be able to change careers and still make enough money. My wife worked mainly part-time because she was studying. Last May, she finally completed her PhD in clinical psychology and opened her therapy practice. She had a lot of contacts in the field who passed her some patients and she filled up pretty quickly. She's making good money, and we have savings, so we decided I could consider a lower paying position or try some new project and still pay the bills. I've always loved baking and my grandpa was a baker, so I decided to open a bakery in my town. I do mostly baguettes and Mexican-style sweet and savory breads, as well as coffee, hot chocolate, and donuts, and fresh churros. It's only been open for 3 months, but it's bringing in enough customers to turn a profit. It's way more work than I've ever done in my life, and I love it. I wake up at 3:30 a.m., 6 days a week to get started. I usually close up by 1 p.m., but I still have cleanup as well as doing the books and making any orders I need to make. I thought I was kind of a lazy person, but I've learned that's not true at all. I feel so energized and I actually care about my business. My wife is kind of a workaholic herself and we don't have kids. So, the schedule does work for us. Although I'm working to hire enough staff to get myself the entire weekend off, so we can have 2 days together. And we are home every evening together. The best part is just my entire attitude about life has changed. I used to be in a bad mood a lot. I used to drink cologne a couple nights a week. I used to feel tired and demotivated a lot. I was always putting off housework. I also had a lot of trouble sleeping. It's totally different now. Even though I'm working more hours now, I get home and I have energy to still do housework. I sleep way better. I think it's from working so much. I fall asleep at 8, which I know wouldn't work for everyone. But I love it. I feel happy and my days just go by so fast. My wife obviously notices the change. And yesterday she said, "All this time I thought you were depressed, but you really did just hate your job." And it made me realize how true that is. I didn't think just changing jobs could change me this much, but it did. I found out why my parents divorced and don't know if I can still look at my dad the same. I, 17M, have divorced parents. When I was 5, all I remember is my mom going into my dad's school at around 7ish and came out crying. I didn't understand what was going on. I mean, I was 5 about a month after I was introduced to my dad's new girlfriend. It was a change for sure, but over time I got used to going to mom's then dad's. And that's how it has been for 12 years. But last week, I was conversing with my mom about random stuff when the topic of their divorce came up. For some reason I had never asked why or what happened. She started saying how she had found out about my dad's affair over a year before that dreadful night, how she confronted him and went to counseling. Over the next 6 months they started repairing the bridge that had been burned, but yet again my dad started staying at school later and doing things. She finally looked at his phone and found he had been messaging the mistress every day and being with her every day, taking half days off to go to her place. When my mom confronted my dad, she got so angry, she ended up throwing plates at him and he left. After this, my mom, being the badass she is, took one card out of every pack or baseball cards he has and then put them back. She knew this was how she got to him. She opened the packs he got for his birthdays and even packs from the year he was born, from his dad, thus making them worth nothing being now opened. But when I found this all out and started doing research/asking questions to my dad, he said him and his mistress got together in early 2014. But when I talked to her, she stated that we started dating in 2010 when we met at a concert and hit it off. My mom thought he started cheating a whole 2 years prior. And I can't believe how I missed all of this. I don't trust him anymore. I never will trust him again. And I'm sitting here thinking, what if everything he told me was a lie, He said my mom and him broke up because they fell out of love, when I know it was him that fucked it up. I can't believe how stupid he is for leaving my mom for the raging bitch which he now shares 2 kids with. My wife struck me for the first time. I don't know what to do. I have been with my wife for 9 years. We've been married for 4. She's currently 8 months pregnant with our daughter, staying at home. I work full-time, with overtime, and take care of her when I'm home, but her mother lives in our guest house and has been helping out with everything else. I came home yesterday from work to find my wife directly in front of the door looking insanely peed off. I asked her what was wrong, and she just grabbed me by the arm and dug her nails in. She has those long, pointy fake nails. I already have scratches from the way she's grabbing me at this point. She drags me to the bathroom and points at our cat's litter box, which is one of those expensive litter robots. It's full and not working apparently. She starts screaming at me about how it's my job to clean it because she's pregnant and the cat took a shit under our bed. I immediately apologized. I know it's dangerous for pregnant women to clean that stuff. I tried to calm her down by saying that I was sorry and would clean it, that I was just stressed with overtime and had forgotten. She punched me in the chest, slapped my face, and kept screaming at me that I was useless. I just stood there and didn't say anything. I was just shocked that she had hit me. After a while, she stormed into her room and locked the door. I didn't know how to respond at that point, so I deep cleaned the litter robot and slept on the couch. I woke up today and she's acting like nothing happened. She texted me good morning while I was at work like usual. I don't know how it'll be when I'm home. She never has done something like this. The worst things prior were throwing things at walls during arguments very occasionally. I don't know what to do. My best friend is getting married today and I truly think they are making a mistake. My best friend is getting married today. I've tried my best to be supportive and gentle in my language if I must be honest, but I'm bursting with frustration. I know this is going to sound petty, and honestly I'm likely a bad friend for judging, but please hear me out. My friend is 23, marrying a man of the same age that they have been dating for about 8 months. At 5 months, they told me they were engaged, and that they were going to the courthouse on Halloween to get married. The only people invited are both of their mothers. A proper wedding ceremony will be held in the spring where everyone will be invited. I've already been told I'm one of groomsmen/maids of honor. I'm the best man of the bride, if there's a better name for that. Why do I have a problem with this? Besides the very short time they've been dating, my best friend is very quick to fall in love, and very quick to fall hard. Every person they have dated in the past 5 years has had the same thing said about them, the best person they've ever dated, and I've never loved someone so much. I genuinely don't mind it normally, as they have lots of love to give and how much they see love as one of their charms. But it has led to them getting hurt very often, especially by terrible men who take advantage of their feelings, usually financially. I'm worried they are jumping into this relationship too fast. I've met the fiancé/husband, and I don't hate the guy. He's okay, and hasn't shown many red flags. He even makes my friend happy, so I should be happy. The only big red flag is his inability to hold a job, quitting or getting fired frequently, especially quitting without telling my friend. I have talked about my concerns about them rushing this, but they brushed them off and gave me the same "I've never loved anyone like this before." So I've bit my tongue since and try to support them. I even went shopping with them to pick out the wedding outfit like a best friend should. I know I sound like a bad friend, and I genuinely feel bad for being so apprehensive. I do also want to get ahead of any jealousy claims, since I'm a man and they are a woman and this is the internet. I am gay, having no interest in women. I love my best friend as family, not in any way romantically.